This video will demonstrate how to place the Inteli washer control into a test mode. This will allow you to quickly diagnose the functionality of components before starting to troubleshoot. If the machine fails to perform one of the test functions, it may have this same failure when in normal use. Test mode allows you to run through every function and helps identify functions that do not work. The steps in this video might differ slightly depending on your exact model. First, place the washer into the configuration mode. In order to do this, the washer must not be running any programs. The door must be open, and the input power coming into the washer must be turned off. After turning off the power, it is recommended that you wait 2 to 3 minutes for any remaining power to dissipate. To open the top cover of the washer, unlock both locks on the top. Carefully lift the cover up. This might require additional help. Removing the cover might differ depending on the model. The A1 board is located on the inside of the control panel. Depending on the model, you may have to remove the cover to access the board. To enable configuration mode, there are 2 different types of switches. They will always be located near the top left side of the board. They are marked SW1. One type is opened by carefully pushing down and unhooking a wire. The switch wires should not be touching the corresponding hook. The other type is a sliding dip switch. The configuration mode will always be the top switch. Slide the switch to the off position towards the number. Turn power back on. Press the down arrow to highlight Test Program. Press the select button that is labeled SEL. Press the down arrow to highlight Emergency Stop 12-volt circuit. The control will not allow you to advance any further because it wants to verify the functionality of the e-stop. To verify that the e-stop switch works, you'll need to press the switch in. You should hear an audible sound. To disengage the e-stop, twist the knob to the right. The audible sound will stop and you will be able to advance further in the menu. Press the down arrow to highlight Balance Circuit. Physically move the basket left and right until you hear an audible sound and the balance switch will read Open. In the rear left side of the unit, there is a switch that detects an out-of-balance load. During a cycle, if the switch is open, the washer will not achieve high-speed spin. This step verifies the functionality of that switch. Press the down arrow to highlight Door. To test, you will need to open and close the door several times. When the door is closed, the display will read Door Closed, and when open, it will read Open. This is verifying the functionality of the door hinge switch. You will need to have the door closed to advance. Press the down arrow to highlight Safety Door Lock and manually lock the door by fully closing and latching. The door handle styles will differ depending on the model. Press Modify to lock the door. You can verify that the door is locked by either pulling down on the handle or pulling on the door. Press the down arrow to highlight Main Drain. Press Modify to close the main drain. The valve should change from open to closed. Keep the drain closed to test the functionality of the drain as water fills the basket. Press the down arrow to highlight Electro Valve Water 1. This is the cold water inlet. Press Modify. You should hear and see the water flowing into the basket. To turn off the water, press Modify again. Press the down arrow to highlight Electro Valve Water 2. This is the hot water inlet. Press Modify. You should hear and see water flowing into the basket. To turn the water off, press Modify again. If your unit is equipped with a third water inlet, press the down arrow to highlight Electro Valve Water 3. Press Modify to test out the valve. If left on, the water valves will automatically shut off when the water reaches a certain level. Press the down arrow to highlight internal dosing. select Modify. The display will show 1 INT. At this time, you will see compartment 1, also known as pre-wash compartment, begin to flush. Press Modify. The display will show 2F. At this time, you will see compartment 2, also known as wash compartment, begin to flush with cold water. Press Modify. The display will show 2C. At this time, you will see compartment 2 begin to flush with hot water. Press Modify. The display will show 3INT. At this time, you will see compartment 3, also known as the bleach compartment, begin to fill. The fill will time out, and the siphon should empty the bleach compartment. Press Modify. The display will show 4INT. At this time, you will see compartment 4, also known as the softener compartment, begin to fill. The fill will time out, and the siphon should empty the softener compartment. Press Modify. Press the down arrow to highlight external dosing. By pressing Modify, you can scroll through 4 external dosing steps, just like the internal dosing steps. You will need to have an external dosing system to verify that it is working properly. Press the down arrow to highlight external dosing A6 board. By pressing Modify, you can scroll through 8 external dosing steps, just like the internal dosing. Press the down arrow to highlight Inverter On. Press the Modify button to turn the inverter on. You will hear the inverter powering up. After a couple of seconds, you'll be able to advance further in the menu. Press the down arrow to highlight Rotation and press Modify to turn on the rotation. The basket will begin to rotate with water in the drum. If water is not present, the drain valve is open or leaking. Press the down arrow to highlight Distribution Speed. To turn distribution speed on, press Modify. At this point, the drain valve will open and the drum will begin to drain. Once the basket starts to spin, you'll be able to advance further in the menu. Press the down arrow to highlight Extract. To change the extract speed, you will need to press one of the numbers on the display. It will currently be in Extract 2. If you press 3, you will see the number 3 blink until it reaches that certain level. The spin speed will gradually increase until it reaches the preset speed. You can go to the next level once the number stops blinking. The extract speeds go from 2 through 6. To end the extract sequence, press the Stop button. Once the rotation is completely stopped, the door will unlock. Turn off power to the washer. Reset the dip switch to its original position. Turn power back on. It is now back in its normal run mode.